Hello folks, welcome to the third part of Git Tutorials by workat.tech. In this video, we'll be looking at how we can install and set up Git for our various requirements. We'll be going to the official website of Git to download it, and we'll also be verifying we have actually installed the proper version of Git for our use. So let's now switch to my screen, and what you can actually do is open any browser of your choice, and on the search bar just type in git download. Okay, so you'll be getting these results, and just go to the first one, basically gitscm.com. okay, so over here you can actually see multiple options to actually download Git. So for like you can download it for Linux or Unix based systems, Windows and Mac OS. Over here you can basically see the version that is the best one suitable for your operating system. Okay, and you can actually click directly over here. So for Windows it will be directly downloaded as a package just like any other applications, and then from there you can use the GUI to actually download it. So for Mac OS it's a bit different. If you're clicking over here you can see that it actually suggests to install Git using multiple ways. Okay, basically we can use Homebrew, Mac ports. If we have installed Xcode before, basically a Git version will be coming with that by default. Okay, you can also install other by other sources, and if you want a graphical user interface you can actually go ahead with the last option. Okay, but before that you might have already installed Git, so what I'll actually suggest you to do is just check whether you have installed it before or not. Okay, so how you can actually do is to actually check whether there's any relevant result coming for the command that we're actually going to type in. Okay, so you can open your terminal if you are using a Mac, or a command prompt if you are using a Windows system, and on the terminal you can just type in git space and then put 2 dash and then type in version. Okay, it should be returning something, so it's returning 2.32, which basically means that I have a Git version installed in my system. Okay, you can just check that. If it's not there, you can just straight away go ahead and install it. It's super easy. Okay, so once this is done, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to use my code editor to actually move forward further. So I'll be using Visual Studio Code to actually move forward. You can use any editor of your choice, but obviously VS Code is the best one, or the suitable one that I'll be preferring you to actually use. Okay, especially for this particular thing. Okay, you can also continue with your terminal, but I'll be using VS Code since we'll be making use of it a bit more. Okay, so I'll just open it now, and yes. So what I'm actually going to do is we'll be setting a few config variables in this particular thing, basically for Git, and for that, instead of the terminal, I'll be using the terminal within the VS Code. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open a new terminal within VS Code, and then if required you can actually verify the git version command if required. That's not mandatory, I'm just doing it to actually show it to you. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do next is let's actually add the username. So what I'm actually doing is type in git config, and then we are going to add add this particular thing to the global level, and then user.name, and I'm actually entering my name over there. Okay, so now that is actually set. So over here we actually mentioned global because there's actually three levels. The first one is system level, where all the users who using this particular system will be provided with this particular variables, basically the things that we're actually adding. Then global, for each user this particular thing will be actually added, and then there is local, that'll be for individual projects. Okay, that's not required, so I'm going to add global over here. So the next thing we need to actually add is our user email. So for that, what I'm actually going to do is user.name, basically git config -- global user.email. Okay, you don't have to use the double quotes. I'm going to enter my email. It will be better if you're actually using your mail that you will be actually using with your other things. Okay, other things as in like the cloud destinations like GitHub or GitLab or things like that. Okay, so just make sure that your mail ID is correct. I just realized I made a mistake over there. Okay, I guess now, yeah, I guess now it's fine, and I'm going to add that. So now we have actually did the basic installation and setting up of Git so that we can actually use it for our projects. So if required, you can go ahead and set the auto carries return and line function value. So the command will be something like git config global and then code.auto control, basically auto crlf. You can either set it to true if you're using a Windows OS. You can set it to, let's say, input if you're using a Mac OS. That is something, if you want, you can actually do. We'll not be covering that like in this particular video. Okay, so that's regarding the basic installation and setting up of Git, and in the next video, so we'll be actually really getting started with the Git. Okay, basically getting started with the initializing thing itself. Okay, so yeah, do subscribe to our channel in order to be notified whenever we are sharing a new video on our channel.